Hi guys, welcome back to my channel for Friday Favorites, where I discuss some of my favorite products, either weekly favorites, monthly favorites, or case in point today, the best ever eyeshadow palette ever. This is my favorite eyeshadow palette, mainly because I built it completely with only shadows I felt that I would use, and it is an INGLOT palette. If you follow me on Instagram or Snapchat, you would have already known that I made my own INGLOT palette because I was inspired by Estee Lalonde and Amelia when they made their own INGLOT palettes, and I just felt like so many palettes out there I love, and I keep buying palettes in hopes of finding the perfect palette. But what better way than to build my own perfect palette? And what really spurred this inspiration on top of those videos was also my Bella 4 eyeshadows. And those eyeshadows are super rich and pigmented, and I absolutely loved building my own palettes with Bella 4 shadows. However, I felt that they didn't have enough eyeshadows to really create my perfect everyday, my perfect evening, and my perfect like pops of color or smoky eye palette all in one. So I went ahead and built my own 20 shadow palette from INGLOT. I'm gonna go through every single shadow, show you swatches, why I picked it, how I would wear it, and then at the end of this video I have a really quick tutorial on how I create this makeup look, because this makeup look is really my favorite makeup look from most of January into February, because it's what I've been wearing, it's what I've been loving, it's my go-to. I wore it all through Generation Beauty. It's also what I just go to it because I like it. I feel like it flatters my eye shape, my eye color, my skin tone. It just is really easy to do and it looks good. So let's move into the review of the palette first. So I'm gonna go by row, and when I look at my palette, this is how I see it. I feel like this is row 1. This is how I look at it. This is how I approach my makeup. Row 1, starting off, I have a creamy beigey white shade 351, and this is a beautiful matte brow highlight. But on top of using it as a matte brow highlight, I also like to use this as my base shadow. And what I mean by that is if I'm using any cream primers, or even if I'm just using concealers, even though I do pat on a little bit of whatever under eye powder I'm using to set my concealer, I like to go in with a pigmented matte beigey white to set my eyes, because it really provides a nice even smooth surface for all the other colors, and having a shade like this really helps the other colors pop, and you'll see it in the tutorial. But I always need a matte vanilla beigey white-ish color. Next to that, I have 330, and this is a matte pinky nudie shade, and this really just looks like my skin tone when I blend it onto my wrist or when I put it on my eyes. It is literally my skin tone, my eyelid tone, and this just is great for a subtle brow highlight or a subtle thing of what I would do with the vanilla white shade, because sometimes if you're going for very dark colors or if you're going for a very smoky eye, you don't want such a harsh contrast on your brow bone. The next shade is 368, and this is my version of Peach Smoothie from Makeup Geek. If you guys watch YouTube videos, Peach Smoothie is the end-all be-all of a perfect crease shade, and this is that. I wanted all my shadows to be the same brand, the same shade, shape in terms of putting it into a palette. That is the only reason I bought this one, because I do own Peach Smoothie and I feel they're very comparable and similar. It is going to be perfect for blending it into your crease. It's a great transition shade for your crease. I like to set this all through my crease with a big fluffy brush because it just softens up any harsh lines. It's a great base for a darker crease, and if you're not gonna wear much, this is also a great like is she wearing makeup kind of look for your crease. Now, next up, I have a matte 335, and this is what I'm wearing in my crease. So on top of this last shade, which was 368, I put this one, which is 335, in my crease, and this is what's adding that really great, warm, rich, reddish brown pop of color in my crease. The last shade in my first row is 405, and this is the first shimmer we're gonna come upon. This is a beautiful gold shimmer. I love gold shimmers for the center of the eyelid to really pop open the eyes. I love gold. I feel like they're just so beautiful. They really warm up my face. They bring out my brown eyes. It brings out the flecks of gold in my brown eyes. And you guys know I love NARS's Isolde. This kind of gives me that option without having to carry another kit or another set of shadows, even though that's just a small little 2-pack. Now let's move into row 2, where we get a little bit cooler, a little bit taupier. The first shade is going to be a matte, and this is something I would use in my crease if I was going for a cooler, plummier look, and this is in 344. Matte, taupey purple on the grayer side. Next to that, I've got 342, which is a beautiful gray taupe. This is going to look great in the brows if I'm in a pinch and forgot my brow pencil or forgot my brow kit. This is going to be perfect for most brow shapes. You can also mix it with another matte brown to deepen it up. And I also like this for the crease. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful cool tone crease transition shade or to deepen up the crease. You can also use this to smoke out your lower lash line as well. I've got 363, which is where I get a little bit plummier, a little bit purplish, but it's still in the cool tone. This is one of those colors that I would use over the last shade, which was this brown taupe. And it's just about layering colors, giving my eyes options or giving my makeup look options if I'm traveling or if I never had a palette again. Next to that, I go darker into 378, and this is where we get really into the purple world. And this is where I would use this on the outer corners, use it as a lower lash line, smudgy, smoky eye all over the lid. It's beautiful purple, and purples really flatter brown eyes as well as hazel eyes like I have slightly. I don't quite have hazel eyes, but they're more on the brown side. And then the last shade in row 2 is going to be this deep matte brown. I feel like this, if I needed to mix it with that taupey brown in the second row, I can make a great brow powder in a pinch. I also just love this for a natural everyday eyeliner. Just use a angled brush, smoke out your lower lash line, smoke out your top lash line. If you want it a little bit darker but still want very natural and neutral, you could use this in your crease or your outer corners. Very versatile, very, very nice. Row 3 is all shimmers, and this is where it starts getting a little fun, a little more versatile in terms of like combining it with the first 2 rows. You're really gonna get more options and more drama and fun. The first shade I have in row 3 is 154, and this is what I have on the inner corners of my eyes as well as my center of my lid. This is a really, really beautiful, highlighty, cool tone shimmer. It reminds me of what is it called? The Shimma Shimma from Makeup Geek. But again, this isn't Makeup Geek, and the reason even though I own Shimma Shimma and I wanted this, is because I wanted an all-in-one palette. And I love Makeup Geek shadows, so you could definitely do what I just did with Makeup Geek shadows. However, I felt like Makeup Geek shadows were a little bit too shimmery and the mattes were a little bit too cool. Like, it was a very small select group of like warm brown shades. So, but she does an amazing job with the formulations of those shadows. The next one is going to be 153, and this is where it gets a little bit more on the gray shimmer side. And this is beautiful for an icy look, to pop open anything I might need. If I was doing a plummy, smoky look, pop a little bit this on the center of the lid. It'll brighten everything up. It'll really make my eyes pop and open that up, as well as on the inner corners of the eyes. Next to that is one of my favorite shades, and this is 419. This is a beautiful olive shimmer, and this is going to look gorgeous all over the lid. It's going to look gorgeous like doing kind of a like a gradient effect using some of the warmer shimmers or even the cool shimmers. I just really love this eyeshadow. I think it complements my brown eyes as well as my brown hair. So if you have darker features, I really, really love this 419. It's a really beautiful olivey green shimmer. Next to that, I have 409, and this is my first shimmery brown. This is a very traditional shimmery brown. This is going to bring out your eyes. You can use this as an outer corner in the crease, deepen things up. smoke this all over the lid and you're gonna have an easy smoky eye. I just love browns. I tend to gravitate towards warm browns or plums because it's what flatters me. It's what I work with very well. Last one in row 3 is 421. This is going to be a little bit more on the bronzy, redder brown, but still very shimmery, still very neutral. Again, outer corner, through the crease, deepen things up, lash line, bottom lash line, all over the lid, smoke your face out or smoke your eyes out. It's just a really beautiful shade. The 4th row, this is probably the most dramatic row except for this shade down here. This shade is so beautiful. This is the latest to my edition. This is 09, and this is a warm, soft, peachy gold shimmer, and this looks beautiful. I'm wearing this through my lid as well. It's just a beautiful, beautiful shimmer, and it really brings my eyes, just, it pops everything open. I've got 37, which is more of a purplish brown shimmer, which will look beautiful with my taupey purples as well as my warm browns that I have in my kit. And next to that is officially a plum shade. And Dolly just snored. Next to that is officially a plum shade, which is 446, and this is something where I wanted something really dramatic. Put this all through the lid or all on the crease. Something fun, mix it with some of the other browns. I just need a purple because this really, really will make my eyes look huge and pop it open. And next to that, I picked a fun shade that I don't typically go for. It's 434, but it is so pretty. It's like a grayish purple, soft, smoky purple. Something that I would do like a smoky eye with and just play with that with some of the other taupey shades. It's to deepen any of those other combinations up. And of course, every palette really does need a good matte black, and this is number 63. This is the shadow I used to set my gel liner, which is from INGLOT, and boy, is that gel liner amazing. I really think that that gel liner has really pulled my whole eye look together in the recent months. There you go. That's everything in my INGLOT palette, why I picked those shades. I could probably do without a couple because I don't use all of them that much, but I do use the first 2 rows quite a bit and this black quite a bit. In terms of pigmentation and formulation of INGLOT shadows, what I do like about these shadows is that you're not going to get a really overly pigmented shadow in the mattes and then not in the shimmers, or vice versa. All the shadows are equally pigmented, no matter the consistency, no matter the formulation, whether it be matte, satin, metallic, shimmer. Done an amazing job at being consistent through the whole powder eyeshadow collection. They're quite pigmented. They're not as pigmented as Makeup Geek. However, I find that they are easier to work with, especially if you're new to makeup. Sometimes overly pigmented, overly strong eyeshadows can be hard and difficult for you to blend and work with if you are not used to blending and working with shadows. And that being said, these are not super soft either. Sometimes the very high-end shadows can be really buttery, very soft, almost to the point where, again, it's difficult to work with. You don't know what to do. You're so used to blending and working with really rich and pigmented shadows. So I feel like these are in the middle of the spectrum in terms of pigmentation, longevity, formulation. They're very good quality shadows. $7 each. If you have a pro card, definitely go to Nigel's in North Hollywood and get them at a discount. And I just love this palette. I've been reaching for this pretty much every day when I'm not playing with new makeup or not trying to do a different look. If you want to see how to make this makeup look, it is now almost 1 a.m. I had to refilm this video because it was out of focus the first time. So anyways, if you are interested in how to achieve this eyeshadow look and what lips I'm wearing as well as my face makeup, please stay tuned because let's move into the makeup tutorial portion of this video now. Starting off, I'm prepping my lid with some Benefit Lemonade. I'll have all the products I use for this tutorial linked in the description box, as well as all of my shadows by row, but I've got this upside down obviously. So then I'm going in with 351, the vanilla base shade, and setting the lemonade as well as setting a great base for all of the other shadows to go over. Next, I'm using 368 to define my crease, and I'm using a Bobbi Brown eye blender brush. This really helps just set my crease and provides a nice transition shade like I talked about earlier. Then I'm going in with 335, this beautiful reddish brown matte. I draw a dot on the outer corner, then on the inner corner, and bring the two dots together. It really makes my eyes shape look better and more defined. Now I'm going in with 09 and applying that all over the lid with a flat fluffy brush from Pure Cosmetics, and I'm just applying that. It highlights the center of my eyes and provides a nice pop of color. Next I'm going in with 37, this shimmery brown, and defining the outer V of my eyes, making it look all almond shapey and big, and I just love this. Also, please don't forget, you can create this look with any shadows you have on hand. This is just what I used. And then I'm going back in with 335 to redefine the crease because, you know, stuff happens. And I'm going in with 351, highlighting my brow bone, redefining everything and blending out the harsh edges. Going in with 154 to highlight the inner corners of my eyes and really make it pop. I'm using a nude pencil from Rimmel, and this is just going to pop open my lower lash line. I'm then going back in with 335 to define my lower lash line with that brownish reddish matte beautiful shade I love. Then going back in with 37, defining the outer corner of my lash line. And this baby, you guys, this INGLOT gel black liner is like the best black gel eyeliner I have ever used. I'm using a Real Techniques Bold Metals collection brush, and I am so serious. This is like seriously the best gel liner ever. It is so pigmented, it is so rich, and it does not come off ever. So I apply the gel liner, and then I'm going to go in with the black matte shadow 63, and I'm just going to press the shadow over the gel liner to really set my gel liner. It also smooths out any unevenness I might have created, and of course I need to go in with my cleanup pencil from Nude Sticks, and then I actually go back in with a Nude Sticks concealer and just kind of like fix everything up. Curl the lashes, apply some mascara. This one is way overpriced. You don't need it. Get the Nude Sticks one, just as good, if not better. Then I'm going in with my bronzer from Makeup Forever. It's in shade 20. Contouring, sort of, kind of doing my thing, drawing a 3 and a backwards 3. Then I'm applying Captivating, this blush from Tarte. It is amazing. Or is it called Exposed? It actually, I think, is called Exposed. I'll have it linked in the description box below. And I'm using my new highlight from Bobbi Brown. This is a beautiful golden highlight that really just makes my cheeks look all glowy and beautiful. And then, this is a trick I've been doing. I take a pressed foundation. This one's from IT Cosmetics. It's the Illumination one. I take a buffing brush and I buff everything in. This helps smooth out my blush, my bronzer, all that stuff. Lining my lips with nude, iconic nude from Charlotte Tilbury because I couldn't find my Marc Jacobs one, which is the one I typically use. And then I'm using Bare from Tom Ford. This is the lip combo you guys keep asking me about, and I thought I would just wear it for you guys. And that's the finished look, guys. You guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the little review / quick makeup tutorial format. If you did, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you did not, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. If you have any questions, concerns, or if you have your perfect palette, what is your perfect palette? I would love to know. Do you own your perfect palette? What would be in your perfect palette? And what is your perfect palette? So leave it in the comment section. I love to learn from you guys. If you've played with INGLOT shadows, I love to know your opinions because, like I say, the comment section is a really great place for us to learn from each other, learn from everybody's experience in a nice, positive, helpful way. This way we can all decide whether or not products work for us, because I can tell you my opinion, but I want to know yours as well. If this is your first time to my channel, my name is Serein and my channel name is called Dress Yourself Happy because I hope my channel motivates and inspires you to look and feel your best. I know when I look and feel my best, I'm able to deal with life a little bit better, especially when I'm really stressed and life keeps throwing stuff at you. And if anything, I hope my videos helped you today, and what I mean by helped you is like took your mind off of whatever it is that you needed to kind of decompress and relax from. That's what YouTube and television is for me, so I hope I was able to do that for you the last few minutes. And if you're new and haven't subscribed yet, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. If you haven't but you've been watching, go ahead and click that subscribe button, man. It really helps me out. All my videos will show up in your feed. I upload every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. I need to go to bed now, so I hope to see you back here on Sunday for a Sundays with Serene, and until then, I'll see you soon. Bye. Hurry, get out. You don't mess with my light.